Well, first of all, thank you for being here. Good to see everyone. Just a quick recap on last Saturday and then on to Troy. Was really proud of the way our players and the way they competed. I was proud in the way that how we approached the game. We knew it would be a difficult week, difficult place to play, a lot of different circumstances that go into playing there, and I thought our players did a really good job of doing that. We brought our momentum, our juice, our energy, everything that we spoke about, we were able to do. I used the word momentum again. I think when you really look back at the game, we were able to control the momentum and take the momentum early and never really relinquish it throughout the course of the game. We were able to match their scores, particularly in the second half. We started fast, scoring on 3 straight possessions in the first half, and then answering their calls and scoring on 3 straight possessions in the second half, which was great to see. Each week we talk about the double positive in terms of explosive plays and turnovers. We won the double positive, so that was big in moving forward. And again, for moving forward, we just have to keep improving and keep building it each and every day. Each week you have to reinvent yourself, you have to recreate yourself, but you have to stack good days upon good days. You have to stack your improvements upon each other and continue to improve. Everyone's outcome oriented. I get it. But when you really go back and you look at the video, we did not play our best football. There's room for a lot of improvement. There's room that improvements must be made to play the quality of opponents that we're going to be playing here coming up with the rest of our schedule. We gave up way too many explosive plays on defense. They had 4 plays that accounted for over 140 yards. You can't do that. So again, I thought we had way too many missed tackles on the perimeter, on the edges of our defense. We did not do a good job defensively of leveraging the football. We're going to continue to get perimeter screens, and we work it every day, and that'll continue to be a focal point. It'll be a point of contention every single day with getting better and moving forward. In terms of this week, any deficiencies you have as a player, as a football team, will be exposed in this game. You talk about a quality opponent, our defending league champion, tough environment to play, one of the best environments in the Sun Belt Conference. Their fans do a great job, so there's a lot of things going into it. It's a football program and a team that knows how to win. They're physical in all 3 aspects when you really watch them. One of the most complete football teams we played to date. Coach Summerall does a fantastic job of getting their kids to play with an edge, a toughness, a mentality week in and week out. You just look at them defensively. They won our league and they gave up 17 points per game in what used to be called the Fun Belt, which is back to being the Sun Belt now. They have 8 returning starters. They're all seniors and juniors. They've been in their program. They have banked, what I call banked reps. They have a number of reps, so they're able to do some things schematically because of the experience that they have, and they play extremely fast. They have 6 preseason all-conference selections on that defense, and right now they're currently a top 25 ranked defense in total defense in the country. Offensively, I tell you what, it all starts with Watson, the quarterback. He has 33 career starts, and I think he's playing his best football. They're throwing the ball a little bit more, perimeter screens, down the field, max protection, and then your typical imposing run game. Vidal, number 28, the running back, has really good balance and body control, runs behind his pads, physical, hard to tackle. So, again, a challenge in and of itself. Again, they're a veteran group. They've played a lot of football, big up front. So, again, a great challenge. Heading on the road, we have to get better in a hurry and continue to progress. But, again, have a lot of respect for this football team that we're playing because they're an extremely complete football team. There's not a lot of flaws in their game. And then on top of it, not only do they have good players, they play with an edge and they play with toughness. So our preparation will be vital, our mental disposition, our makeup will be critical as well heading into this game. And then, again, you have to X out the home field advantage that they have. They have a distinct home field advantage when they play at home with their fan base and their excitement and their energy. And so, again, it's, how can we create momentum? How can we maintain momentum throughout the course of the game? So I'll answer any questions y'all may have.
Coach, the last 3 weeks, 3 wins, but you've started fast in all 3 games.
Yeah.
How vital is that this weekend, speaking of the environment, being on the road with a quality opponent, to continue that into the 4th straight game?
Well, it is critical to start fast. We didn't start as fast as we wanted to against Southern Miss, but I think it's playing for 60 minutes. And we talk about never playing to the scoreboard. And why would you let a scoreboard dictate how you feel, how you play? And I thought initially we started to do that at UMass, and then we didn't. And we played from the beginning to the end. I think that's the maturation of a football team. I think that's maturity. You look at Troy, they're never too up, they're never too down. They got a business-like approach, and they play for 60 minutes. We found that out here last year. But obviously starting fast, momentum's a big thing, especially when you go on the road. You have to create your own momentum. I thought we were able to do that. But it's going to be a challenge, and I think for us, we just have to stay focused on the task at hand. You're playing your defending league champion. They're going to have success. Can you manage the adversities, the natural adversities that a football game brings about? And you got to stay together, and you just got to keep believing, and you got to keep playing. And you got to play for 60 minutes or how long it takes. Our toughness will be challenged. Everything that we talk about in our DNA will be challenged Saturday, and rightfully so. They have really good football players. And so, again, we have to do a great job of today in practice, and then Wednesday, and then Thursday, and then Friday, and moving forward.
With Jaylen, obviously player of the week, so he had another great week. But you talk about improvements. Where, as good as he's been, where could he improve still?
Well, I think there's a lot out there. First of all, now his body of work is being put on video. So you're going to start seeing different defensive schemes. You're going to start seeing different things. The more body of work he puts on video, the more different things from a schematical standpoint you're going to start to see. So I think that's the first thing. I think, again, there's still a couple throws with his eyes, some ball fakes, some reads in the run game that, we have to improve on, that he would have to improve on, that we would like to have back. But I've been very pleased with his consistency and performance. I've been really pleased with his approach. He's not changed. But, I think the other thing, too, is his ball security, being able to take care of the football, and when he runs with the ball, making sure the ball is put away and high and tight and protected. So there's a lot of fundamentals. There's a lot of small details that he needs to continue to improve on. Some run checks in the run game, some run-pass options in decision-making process. And again, everything is a body of work, but it's experience. He's now going into his 3rd game. Their quarterback has started 33 games. You're always a byproduct of your experiences and moving forward. So there's a lot out there that he needs to continue to improve on. He'd be the first to tell you. That's what makes him special, is he's always looking to get better, and you have to. It's a constant, never-ending improvement. But I think the big thing is ball security and just the fundamentals and details, from even handoff mechanics to the way we set some of our drops, our rhythm, our spacing, our timing. So there's a lot of things out there that's going to need to be improved. And, I think, too, is your low red passing game. When you get into the low red area of the defense, everything shrinks. Everything becomes confined, so the rhythm of the play speeds up, the accuracy speeds up, your drops speed up, all those things that go into that. So I just think also managing special situations and situational football moving forward as well.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about Jacquez Cross's growth. Just as obviously he knows what to do with the ball when he has it, but he's his all-around back as far as blocking and all that, and special teams, what you're able to do with him there.
I can't say enough of him. I think he's not the same person and not the same player he was a year ago. And that's growth and that's maturation. That's being part of our culture. That's be part of our standard, our expectations, and I give him all the credit. He's been very driven since spring football. He's had a complete different mindset, monumental shift in the way he works too. It started in the off-season program in the strength and conditioning area, getting in better condition, putting the weight on that he needs, improving his strength areas, improving his football knowledge. Jaquez has very good instincts, but he's extremely competitive. He has a great personality. Players kind of gravitate towards him. And you're right, not only is he helping us offensively, but he's helping us in special teams as well.
Seemed like the first couple of weeks maybe drops were some issues with the receivers, but obviously that hasn't been the case the last couple of games. What do you point to as the reason why you've seen some improvement there?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I think there's a lot of things that go into that. It all comes down to fundamentals. There's 3 reasons why you drop a football. It's eye concentration, it's hand placement, and it's body position. And if you really break down the 3 levels of drops or 3 areas of drops, it's always going to fall in those 3 categories. We always categorize them, and then we work those specific skill traits that need. A lot of it is, for us, it's been eye focus and eye concentration and looking to tuck and not being able to, a lot of times we were running before we actually caught the ball, not looking to tuck. But I think that I think Jaylen's accuracy. Jaylen throws a catchable football, a soft football. He has good touch. He can also get it in there. But I think our players have worked hard of really working on the things that hindered us the first couple games with the drops. But again, it's just consistency overall, continuing to do the fundamentals and the details of those 3 elements of catching the football that I just spoke about. And as we all know, a drop football is almost like a turnover in our offense because it stifles your momentum, it slows your tempo down, takes you out of rhythm, and we had that the first couple weeks. But to our players' credit, they've done a good job of really working at it during practice, coaching each other, and then post-practice as well.
Coach, needless to say, defending the run is going to be critical this week going up against Troy. How do you feel like your defense has progressed in that facet, defending the run?
Work in progress. We've been behind with our injury situation, and I think that really, really shows in the defensive front, and I can't give our players enough credit for, a lot of these individuals gutting through it, so to speak. But anyone that's had the inordinate amount of injuries that we've had up front, it's hard to even line up. So I think our players have done a good job that way. But we're going to be double teamed, as we all know. It's how can we hold the double teams? How can we stay square? How can we use our hands? And then our run fits will be vital, and you can't miss tackles. And the thing with their running backs is they play with such low center of gravity is you have to get population to the ball. You have to swarm to the football. You have to gang tackle. All those things that go into it. I didn't think we gang tackled well Saturday. I didn't think we ran to the ball with the mentality that we had the previous 2 games, and we spoke about that as a team. But, again, with stopping the run, it comes down to your eye discipline. It comes down to maintaining your gaps and being able to tackle and being able to tackle in space. And our run fits, our eye discipline, all those things are going to be vital because they do a great job with the RPOs now. They do a great job with play-action passes. They do a good job of putting the ball out on the perimeter. They do a good job of being in 12 personnel, 11 personnel. So they challenge you in all aspects from a defensive standpoint.
I just wanted to ask you about the Troy defense. They obviously went into Atlanta last week. Georgia State was undefeated coming into that game, and I watched most of that game, and they pretty much shut down the Georgia State offense. So can you just speak on that unit, kind of what Troy does defensively?
Well, it's like I said, they're top 25 in the country for a reason. They're able to win one-on-one matchups. They're violent and physical. They use their hands well. I think, we just talked about stopping the run for us defensively. If you watch them play, they rarely miss tackles. They're always in really good body positions. They can bend. They can bend at the knees. They can run their feet on contact and accelerate their feet on contact. They can knock the ball off of runners. and that's parts of violence and explosion. And they've played a lot of football. They've played a lot of football together. They've won a lot of games together. They have 6 first-team all-conference selections preseason on their defense. And they have an expectation, by the way, they're going to play defense, just like we do. So, again, very, very talented. But I think they play really good team defense. They leverage the football. They run to the football. They do a good job of tackling in space. They don't give up a lot of explosive plays. They make you earn. They sit on your routes. They have confidence in the back end of their defense. So they sit a lot on routes, and they trust what they see, and they go attack it. And so it's going to be a challenge for us.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about, I guess it's in the fourth quarter, the drive you had that took up nearly 10 minutes of clock time. Just, how good was that to see? Obviously, I know you had the game, the score in your favor quite a bit at that time, but to see that happen, be able to do that.
Significant progress. That's something that we have worked really hard in this program to establish an identity, to establish a mindset, establish a culture, whatever you want to call it. And for us to be able to take the ball and be able to run the ball like we did, and they knew we were going to run the football, was great to see. We're going to need more of that. Again, we're going to be challenged even that much more the next coming weeks, particularly this week. But in terms of where we've come from and to be a part of that and see that happen, that was significant progress. And it was exciting to see, and I know our players were excited about it as well.